Okay, yes. What I was saying, that our section is for giving us information to the tertiary institution. If you have a question, please write them on a chat, or you can raise a hand. But let's say the question we can have them at the end of the session, so that we run our session smoothly and we are able to go as fast as we can. All right. So the few that I have on my side, and then I will hand over to Mr. Njabulum Kiza from the UK. And then after that, Mr. Sanede Zuma would speak. So for a few information that I have on my side, firstly is to encourage you, if you haven't applied for your tertiary institution as you're doing grade 12, that you start and apply as soon as possible, because some application process close very early, like the one for medicine. If you want to do medicine, the medicines close very early, 30th of June. The medicine close for application. So which means if you want to do bachelor in medicine, okay, at UKZN, I'm not sure with other universities, but you have to find out about that for other university. If you want to do BSc in medicine, or so not BSc, Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery, you have to apply as soon as possible, because end of this month actually, that's where the application will be closed. And after that, they are not taking any late application. But for other degree, I'll share just now, because they have a calendar where we are able to see when are other closing dates for like your health sciences. So when we apply in the tertiary institution in KZN, you can apply through CAO, either for the university or University of Technology, or you can apply to TVET college. So it's up to you which institution you would like to be part of, and then you can apply on that institution. Here, I will share this handbook on a chart. It's a CAO handbook. In page 12 and page 13, that where we have the closing date of most degree, I can say, when this specific degree is closed or will be closed, like your health sciences in UKZN. I think it closes in September, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, no, so yes, for all the remaining D2 MUT, your UKZN program, they close at the end of September. And then the other ones, your science, you can say maybe BSc in physics, your BSc in math, those ones, they close at the end of October. And then anything after October, it is considered as a late application. Then you'll pay 470 for late application. But if you apply before that, I think you pay like your 250 if I'm not mistaken. But you can check with your CAO handbook correctly which amount will be required for you to able to apply for the process. And the other thing is that when you apply for your chosen degree, whatever degree you want to choose, like for the CAO, it allows you to have more than one choices. So before you make a choice, I would say it is better you investigate about the choices you want. Most people, they want to be a doctor because they see doctors, what they do, or they've been exposed mostly in medical doctors. And if you can search, maybe you found out there's something called the data science. Like as we are moving to the fourth industrial revolution, there's something called data science. If you can search about that, what is data science and what is required for you to do the data science. What you should know that with the data science, as we are in the fourth industrial revolution, many people with data science are needed, or with computer science or stat or math, because of where the globe is moving. We are moving toward the fourth industrial revolution with the technology. So things of technology are more important. You find that in later in life, you'll have a doctor sitting at home and do a Caesar or C-section for if a woman is pregnant, something like that, using the technology. So that's what the fourth industrial is trying to move things to, where the technology, we able to use technology for most things. So for my side, I think that's what I have. For the other things, maybe when you raise question, then we'll engage on that. I will pass it over to Ubaba Njabulo Mkhize. Are you okay?
Hi, Sanborn, and good morning. So yeah, I mean, hopefully, I'll just go with English because I'm not sure of the audience. But Ngunjabulo, Sibongo Wamkhize, and I work at the University of Johannesburg as a lecturer in the field of business and economics. But specifically, I'm teaching marketing. So in marketing, I'm teaching marketing 1, and in marketing 1, I teach in the diploma program. So, but I'll tell you more about that a bit later on as to what are the opportunities in marketing, or what are the various options that you have in marketing. But let me start a bit broader and introduce you to the University of Johannesburg and why maybe it might be a place where you want to go. So the University of Johannesburg is a fairly new university, such as is KZN, and is as a result of a merger that happened in this particular area, which is Johannesburg Center. So there was a technicon called the Technicon, or the Johannesburg Technicon, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and then there was RAW. So if you were in the 2005 backwards, you would have known about RAW, which was the Rand Witwatersrand University, all right, which was maybe University Witwatersrand in Afrikaans. So it was the Afrikaans University. So it merged with the Technikon, such as what happened to UKZN, where it merged with the Durban University Technikon, Durban Technikon, where the University of Westfield stands now. So I'm also an alumni of UKZN, and I did my studies there about 5 years or 7 years ago, our master's program. I did a master's in marketing management. Excuse the sound, I think there's a washing that is happening near me, so which is causing that vibration. Apologies. But yeah, I did a master's in marketing management. Before that, I did an honors in marketing management. Before that, I did a general degree where I had become in marketing and supply chain. But I further did my studies, and I've done a postgrad in higher education. So that's where I, because I'm an educator, so therefore I wanted to upgrade my skills in education and assist myself in knowing how to teach students which are university students. So that's a postgrad in higher education. Currently, I'm studying and I'm doing my studies here at the University of Johannesburg. I'm doing a PGC, doctoral studies, and well, there's less to say about that because, of course, you all know education is not easy, but I'm pursuing that. I'm hoping that by next December, I might finish that. So that is who I am, but the University of Johannesburg, back to them, who are my employer, are a very important institution in terms of ensuring that education in the university, in higher education, is propelled forward. So they in themselves have got a cohort of about 50,000 students. And they are traditionally face-to-face university. So you need to be aware that you come face-to-face. Of course, COVID has tried to transform who we are, but it didn't do much because we are back face-to-face with students and interacting with them in a major way. So the latest being news about us is that UJ has climbed the rankings and is now, from when I started with them, they were languishing around 7 in the country. We have now, the latest statistics, we are now number 2, which is after the University of Cape Town. So I'm just showing you that no, there is a program to improve the University of Johannesburg, and you might consider coming to us based on that thought that there is a program to try and propel us forward. So University of Johannesburg then becomes it's an interesting place because it's in the middle, or it's in the center, or almost the CBD of Johannesburg or Gauteng region. So it's just there outside Auckland Park where the SABC is. It's near that particular parameter. So when you are around, I'm just acquainting you as to where you're going. You're going to a place where it's near the CBD, so which is not going to be hard to find, or you don't need taxes of 50, 70 rand to get to that when you've come to Johannesburg. So you are in a place whereby from the rank which you get dropped off, whether you dropped off at Park Station or you dropped off at by a taxi, you'd go to a nearby taxi rank, and then it would cost you about 10 rand to get there. Not because you can't walk, it's just because technically it's going to be difficult for you. Now that I've introduced you to the University of Johannesburg, I want to introduce you to the applications process of the University of Johannesburg. And then hopefully once I've done the applications processes, I can then introduce you to the Department of Marketing. And of course, and I'll try and show you the different number of faculties or number of opportunities that you can apply for at the University of Johannesburg. So in the University of Johannesburg, we had, the year before I came to the University of Johannesburg, around 2015, there was an unfortunate event of that there was a stampede because people wanted to access the university because applications were open and people wanted to come in and apply for their kids. So a lady by the name Gloria Mokwane, if I'm getting it correct, was one of those people who wanted to apply on behalf of their daughter or their son to come through to the University of Johannesburg. And unfortunately, what happened, there was a stampede, and unfortunately, she passed away. So we have a gate in her honor at the Bunting Road campus, that speaks to that. So now, why am I saying the story? It's because on top of that, you then have to be aware that we do not accept physical applications or applications that are submitted at our university. So, and we do not have a CAO form or a CAO thing in Johannesburg, so we have to apply to the university individually. So University of Johannesburg has got that, has got such a platform, and that platform is available for you to apply at. You know, it's available for you to use and apply via, and it's in short, it's UJ. Apply the thing, the application link is, you have to go to UJ, okay, www.uj.ac.za, and with that, once you've done that, then slash number forward slash, they say, then you go to apply to UJ. Now, the good thing about that is that all applications for all students who are applying to UJ online is free. So you don't pay a cent, you just come in and you come into the website and you apply. I'll try and post the link on, as Mr. Dombela has done, so that you can be able to access the link. And then, of course, once you have applied, you then go into a site where you have to then choose a form, or choose a particular course that you want to apply for. So at the University of Johannesburg, we have every application, every course that you want to apply for, except two fields which are not prominent in our university. Agriculture is not prominent, so any agriculture-related program, we do not have a strong agricultural field, and we do not have a medicine program as yet. So we don't have medicine. So if you want to be a doctor, unfortunately, you can't apply to the University of Johannesburg to do a medicine degree, meaning to become a qualified medical practitioner. Now, when I say medicine, I'm talking specifically about being a doctor, but all the other programs and the sciences or health sciences we do have. So which could be physiology or physical studies relating to body, sports science is available. Anything that deals with health sciences besides the medicine, which is directed to becoming a doctor, we do have, because we've got the Faculty of Health Sciences for those programs. Another one that we have, we've got a good, very good fine arts and architecture studies, where we've got Faculty of Arts and Design and Architecture and Design, which is called FADA. When you come here, there's many acronyms when you come around here. We do have education, because we've got the Faculty of Education, and that deals with any studies that relate to education, whether curriculum studies or whether you're talking about teaching in general, BSc in education, where you're teaching either FET or even undergrad or even foundation phase. You can do that with us. We've got also the Faculty of, it's called the College of Business and Economics, which I am part of, which has got BCom Accounting. And I want to highlight that BCom Accounting is one of the best also in the country, in terms of its ability to produce the students, and in terms of its support program. By the way, I was originally supposed to be doing a BCom Accounting at UKZN. I didn't, and Accounting 200 did me, and then I changed. What I want to say with that is that, remember, guys, life teaches you. It makes you make the decisions that you make. Do not be hard on yourself when next year you find that it's not working. If it's not working, you pressurize yourself enough and you see that no, it's not working still, where you push yourself and you say, I can do it. But then you figure out it's not working. Change. I changed. BCom Accounting trapped me, and I changed because I saw that no, it's not working. It's not going to give me the results that I want and that I desire to have, which is to graduate on this particular time. And I decided to change. So we've got a College of Business and Economics, which deals with economic studies, BCom accounting. We've got industrial psychology in there. We've got, what else? We've got marketing. We've got not people management. We've got governance in there. We've got business management in its highest form. There's lots of students who come to it, and it's a big program because business management is nearly in every BCom degree. Business management, we've got transport. Transport is one of the biggest things that we're doing, and we're doing well in our college. Transport management is a big thing. So there you get transport diploma or a BCom in transport management. We also have a diploma or a BCom in logistics. Now, another important thing in UJ is that you've got an opportunity to do a BCom degree or a diploma in that particular program. So like, for instance, in marketing, we've got a BCom marketing degree and we've got a diploma in marketing. All right, so those are two distinct fields. Those are two distinct programs, and they require different entry levels. So for instance, with the BCom in marketing, you need a 26 and a maths, while in the diploma, you need about a 24 and a maths. So you might be struggling with a certain thing in maybe you made a mistake and you find yourself that you wanted to do a BCom, but then you'll end up having enough to do a diploma. So that opportunity is available in EJ. While the other university to which we compete with, WITS, UKZN, UCT, what else? Pretoria, University of Pretoria, they do not have this opportunity for you to do a lesser of, to do not a degree route, but a big diploma route. So you guys have then that opportunity to have yourselves a UJ where you can have a system which allows you to go in another route. So how does this help? Now I'm in my field. So I'll make an example with my field because anyway, I do not know your interest. I don't know what you like and what you don't like in terms of studying going forward. But let me give you another example. I'm in the Department of Marketing under the Consumer Intelligence, which is the school which we do in Consumer Intelligence Information System. That school has got 3 other departments. One is knowledge management, which deals with managing knowledge and data and all that stuff. The other one is information systems, which is then where you get some bit of applied information systems, which includes a little bit of programming and programming in itself. It also includes understanding systems and how they work and how to manage systems. And we also are developing another one, which is called the data science. I heard Mr. Ntombela talk about it, and it's hosted in our school, which is then, that school then deals with data science, and we're developing a program which is going to have a mixture of data science and marketing management. You would know, because you are such a educated group, that data science and the things that relate to information systems, and of course, UJ is via our Vice Chancellor, is a big thought leader in terms of the 4th Industrial Revolution. Hence, our Vice Chancellor sits at a committee which is led by which is co-chaired by the President and himself in terms of 4th Industrial Revolution issues in South Africa. So in so saying, our department, our school has got that particular program where we're looking at ensuring that people are actually included in the future, which is technology, and data science is one of those. So that is quite an important thing that I would like to mention to you. So now let me get back to our department, which will be then a sample for you. Then I'll close my talk. A sample for you to understand UJ. So this UJ, like I have said, is that there's a degree program or degree route, and there's a diploma route. So you can apply for a diploma, or you can apply for a degree. Now, when you want to apply for a BCom, you know the requirements. You will see the requirements available on the prospectus on the website. You get there and you get the requirement. You can apply for that and still get a good education from the University of Johannesburg related to the degree. So we've got the BCom in marketing, and the BCom in marketing is one of the best in the country. I say that even knowing very well that I studied at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, but our program is more comprehensive than any other university in South Africa in terms of the offerings we have in marketing. So now I'm selling to you guys that you come through and study marketing at UJ, and you'll say that you know Mr. Mkhize, and you were with him with a session that was organized by Mr. Ndombe. So come do marketing. One, of course, we've got the most comprehensive. Two, we've got a variety for you to choose from. We've got BCom marketing, we've got a diploma in marketing, and we've got a diploma in retail management. Those are good programs which I teach on in almost every year. I touch on either of these programs. Now, you can enter there and you then become that. Every other department has some variation of this combination that I'm sharing now. So when you come and apply to UJ, you will find that those options are available. So you'll be at a university while studying a diploma, which is usually found in a technical. So which is quite an advantageous thing, as I've highlighted that we are second now in South Africa. It's part of those things which are making us move higher. Now, I also want to say in closing that, of course, there's deadlines and there's deadlines for applications. The broader deadline for nearly every program is the 30th of October, 2022. But some programs, such as the BCom in Marketing Management, their deadline is on the 30th of September. So please be careful as to which one do you choose and which one do you apply for. So there's some like BCom honors, and there's BCom in also in human resources, also closes on the 30th of September. And I would like you as students to be proactive in trying to ensure that you apply early, especially because it's free online. So there's no need to wait any longer. You can just go tomorrow and have all the relevant certifications and the identifications for you to come and apply and be part of the family at the University of Johannesburg. Unfortunately, I've got another commitment, but I would have loved to stay with you and deal with any issues that you might have or any questions. But I'll be in on the call for the next 5 minutes, just so that I may be able to listen to any questions if there's any, Mr. Ndombela, and then I'll log off. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mkhize. If there are any questions for Mr. Mkhize, you can type them on the chat while we allow Mr. Zuma to speak, and then thereafter, before Mr. Mkhize go, we'll address them. Over to you, Mr. Zuma.
All right, thanks, Bamdomba. Sanbon. This is Sanela Zuma, Mr. Yeah, so I'll be very quick, and I promise I'll stick to that. Unlike a pastor, if you notice, pastors can be very wrong when it comes to time. They always promise they'll be quick. They're never quick. I'm about to finish it, never finish it. But I'll be very quick. I won't be like that. Sanela Zuma is employed under the University of KwaZulu-Natal. The two gentlemen who have spoken quite well before me are lecturers, and I'm not there as a lecturer. So they are there to teach you so that you get the qualification you came for after passing all that you need to pass. But I'm employed to hold your hand while you are at the university. So basically, there is what we refer to as student support services in all tertiary institutions. So these are services that are there to support a student on their mission, on their academic mission. So, and there could be many people under that. You can find health services like your campus clinics. You can find disability unit that assists students with disabilities. You can find the SRC, a student representative council. The list is too long, but under that umbrella, I'm in counseling. Okay, so basically, what does a counselor do at the university? You need to have been somebody who studied psychology when you were tertiary, from undergrad up to master's level. You need to have done your internship at some point. So basically, a counselor, we're popular for therapy, but that's not all that we do, you know. In your language, you say, it's a shrink. I'm a shrink, basically. But therapy is not really all that we do at the university. Counselors tend to be psychologists, and these psychologists will be responsible for providing academic counseling. Academic counseling refers to essential studies skills that you need to survive and cope at university, because how you study at high school and manage to get an A may prove to be something that doesn't work for you when you're at the university. So at times you might be challenged and be in a position where you need to reconsider your study methods and things like that. Not just that, time management also becomes a big issue, and preparing for exams, all that's part of academic counseling. But we also provide career counseling. So some of you might be confused, you know. I've had some lovely programs from UJ, lovely programs from UKZN also. But it's very normal for students to come to university by first year and still be as confused as to what they really want to do. So we assist in helping a student find a perfect match for them in these thousands career options that are there. So that's career counseling. And then there's personal counseling, which is therapy. So basically, we get overwhelmed at times. We deal with a lot of things, but sometimes whatever is happening in your life, you manage to cope and you manage to function. But there are those things that are a bit too much, you know, that are a bit too overwhelming, and that make it difficult for you to focus on your work, that make it difficult for you to perform to your full potential. That compromises your emotional well-being, that compromises your mental health. Then a counselor steps in to assist you in that. We don't solve your problems, but rest assured, we'll help you cope. We will help you cope. Exactly. As much as you have lost your parents, as much as you've been dumped, as much as you've survived a horrible accident, you still pass that test, you still pass that exam, you still get to your goals. So the key word in personal counseling is coping. All right, so the brief to me was that let me assist you with preparing you for tertiary by reflecting on those things that tend to be in the way of a student doing well once they're at the university. Number one, I'll speak about three things very briefly. Number one, bad career choices. Like I said, most of you tend to come to university not being so sure. I mean, if you are all matriculants here, I wouldn't be surprised if there's one or two who's like, yeah, I want to do that, but I'm not really sure. That's a challenge because there are so many things that are linked to your studies. If you going to decide and say, okay, next week, marketing sounds really great. I want to go to UJ and do marketing. Maybe you even rely on NSFAS government funding to pursue that degree. You need to be really certain, well, even if not certain, but at least be confident that it's a good career choice. Because if you spend the whole year and realize, ah man, this is not for me, and want to change to something else, it has implications on your funding possibilities, because funding is not something that's guaranteed for you throughout the course of your studies. You earn it by passing. So at times you find that a student gets to university, takes on a degree, clashes with the degree, they're not doing well, and they realize later that year, because they have now available career information, they realize, ah man, I should be there. But at the time they had failed. By the time they are in a good space, they no longer have funding because they had not been performing well. Or they realize, no, I need to move, change this degree to that one. But where you are going, your bad or poor academic performance in your first year actually works to your disadvantage. So I'll really encourage you guys to spend a bit of time exploring your careers. And I think it might take me a bit of time to just unpack it. But if I were to quickly challenge you on things that you need to do to make sure you make good career choices, be honest with yourself in terms of your interest, in terms of your strengths. Most of us are quite aware when it comes to our passion. Oh, I love this. I love medicine. This, oh, death and journey. It's exciting. You're picturing yourself. So it's very easy to see yourself when it comes to interests and your passion for something. But where we tend to fall short is in checking if our abilities and strengths are matching that particular career. Mr. Ndombela is a physicist. If you are interested in physics, surely your maths should be strong. Surely your physical science should be strong. So it's not enough to be passionate about physics. It's not enough to be passionate about astronomy. Oh, I want to move out of planet Earth. I want to explore other, it's easy to do that, but you also need to be honest with yourself. Check your subject and say, where is my maths? Because if you don't do that, you're bound to clash, and every program would call for different strengths in your subjects. For example, you want to do law at the university, they will require your maths to be strong, your English to be strong. Why maths? You need your logical skills. In law, we solve problems. Senzo Meyiwa case, yeah, we're solving problems. We're solving problems. You need your logical skills. The English, yes, because throughout the law degree, you'll be reading case studies. They are written in English. You need to understand. You need to present yourself eloquently. That's why you need English. But if you want to do engineering, they're not interested in your engineering. They want your maths to be strong. They want your physics to be strong. You don't need English to build a bridge. You don't need English to build a car. Physics is not. So be aware of that. Are my strengths in line with what I'm interested in? That's number one. Number two, do I know enough about that career? In BSc, for example, Bachelor of Science programs, you find that there are a lot of science programs that even I've been at the university for over a decade now. But when I first arrived, so many programs were new. Biochemistry, applied industrial biotechnology. Some students will just pick those modules those programs because they sound nice. When you just say them, it's like you're doing something really special. So it shouldn't be like that. Worry yourself about knowing exactly what takes place in those particular programs so that you have a good idea about them. Okay, so bad career choices is something that you need to be aware of because it can be in a way of you succeeding and not succeeding at university. Number two, poor time management and poor study methods. And that's a problem for most students, especially time management. I always complain to Mr. Ndombela because he's my colleague, that we seem to be getting a bunch of lazy students. It's getting worse with each year. There is no longer passion for education. And if you think that you survived high school because you managed to give the bare minimum, you managed to study the day before and you still got a good grade, when you get to university with that attitude, because the university is not for people who are brilliant. It's for hard workers. I've seen students who excel to a point that they get their results very early, having tea and dinner with the Minister of Education. By the time you are all running to the petrol station, midnight, waiting for a paper, they had already known their result. That's how special they are. They come to university. I've seen 2 of them in my experience. 2 of them, top learner, provincial. And then after a year, they're out of the university. And when that person is excluded, because university is not like high school, you don't have a permanent contract at the university. When you get there, you need to perform. If you don't, you are cautioned But if you continue not performing, you are excluded. They chase you out. It's not like you cannot, it's unlike high school where you can say, oh, I repeated grade 7 3 times. We don't have that privilege there. Okay. So, and after a year, you find that person is excluded. And you know, it's not a matter of potential. That person is brilliant enough. You know, we know that for a fact. But the university is not looking for brilliant people. It's looking for people who are really, really willing to sweat. Because it's not enough to know stuff. You need to understand things. You cannot rely on your memory and think you'll survive university, because university wants you to engage critically on issues. So poor time management and poor study strategies are a problem, especially since the university is too vibey. Some of you are in in families where you are so contained, you know, say jail. You cannot really move, because by the time you want to chill and you have this nagging mother, or, hey, have you done your homework? You don't have that adversity. It's just yourself. So nobody's checking up on you. You don't have your parents. The university can't even report to your parents. They can't even send your result to your parents because they are contracted to you as an adult. And you have that freedom while you're also in a very vibey place, very interesting people. You know, you get a lot of attention, and it's very easy to just be lazy. So be aware of that. Last thing is what I would refer to as submission. There's so much peer pressure that happens at the university. I remember my friends in my first year of university, when we reflect, because they're still close friends up to this day, when we reflect about, when we look back at the days we had first year, what seemed to attract us to each other was the fact that we were so genuine. I came from a township. My English was not as smooth as it is now. I was I was that kind of guy. My first experience of actually engaging with the computer was in my first year. Psychology 101, you have an assignment, 8 pages long, you've never touched a computer. To type Sanele will take me, I mean, you'll boil a kettle just to wait for me to type. So I was that kind of guy. But I didn't really force myself to be something I wasn't. I was honest, I was working hard to adjust to the university, but it didn't come at an expense of forcing myself to be something that I'm not. And the problem with tertiary institutions now is that we find a lot of students who come in here very decent, they are very well behaved, but they come to an environment and they realize that, wow, it's quite fashionable to behave in this fashion. I know students who came here and they don't drink at all. They hate alcohol with all they have. 3 months later, they are drinking. No? And when you check, is it a choice you want to make? As in, I'm deciding, I'm happy, I want to do it now. And most times it's not their choice. It's just a matter of feeling like they need to belong. You know, you know where you come from, and where you come from, maybe you can't afford to change hairstyles twice a month. Your short hair is fine. You've always been fine, but suddenly you have classmates who come to classes as if they are coming to some fashion show. They are so glamorous, and you feel the need to be that. And that's how people end up having blessers. That's how people end up going back to their families, forcing their parents to send money which they do not have, and find their parents having to go through loan sharks just for you to live a life that you can afford. Submission has so many dangers. There are so many students who fell pregnant when it wasn't planned. There are so many students who get illnesses which they didn't intend to have. Students who fall into a life that they do not, simply because they don't have the courage to be who they are, you know, and it's something to watch out for, because you can really be lost if you don't look out for it. In the interest of time, Mr. Ntombela, I'll stop there.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Zuma. I don't know, any question to our participants? Any question you may have from our speakers? You may raise a hand and then I'll unmute you. Okay. Okay, I've unmute you. You can speak, Jazile. Yes, you can ask a question.
Okay, so I would like to ask a question
Can you speak a little bit louder?
Will you hear me right now, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I would like to ask, since like we're coming from different provinces and stuff, is there maybe a program that the university can offer to help us fit in, to help us with the transitioning to tertiary? Is there anything of that sort which is offered in tertiary institutions?
Okay. I'll speak on behalf of UKZN. For UKZN, yes, we have. From the college which I'm in, it's College of Agriculture, Science and Engineering. So we have the access program for the science and agriculture. Then we have an access program for engineering. So, but mostly these ones, it's when you are not meeting the points to, maybe if you wanted to do an engineering and then you are not able to do engineering because of the point system, and then we can able to start on the access program. And then in that order, on the access program for engineering, it helps you to fuse in into the university and being able to understand the university life, as well as you starting toward your engineering degree. Or also for the BSc4, which is helping you with the science field or agricultural. If you did not meet the point for doing your agricultural degree or the mainstream science or life sciences in any sciences field, and then it helps you to fuse in and then being able to continue with your degree. But if you, let's say you meet the point, but you still you can't balance the life in the university, that's where the student counseling are there for, to support, so that you are able to balance your life in the university. So the activities around the university, that are the one that help you to get yourself or being able to adapt in the university life. We also have mentees or the mentors, where they help you to understand that. I think Mr. Zuma want to say something.
No, I just want to add to that by saying pretty much all universities would have what we refer to as the orientation program. So there is a week where new students are actually introduced to the whole university, and they have senior students allocated to them in smaller groups so that they are able to ask questions and familiarize themselves with the university. But apart from the orientation week, you find that the university becomes much more communal. There is a sense of community in universities. That's why you have a number of student organizations. If you are a Christian, for example, you'll find a student Christian fellowship, which the likes of Mr. Ndombela and Mr. Mkiza have been part of for most years during their studies. If you are into sport, you find a soccer team. There's just too many of them, you know. If you are into politics, your ANC, your EFF, your DA, your IFP, whatever, you find it there. So those social groups also help in you actually adjusting to the university, because you are not isolated as an individual. So that's just what I wanted to add, Mr. Tomba.
No, okay, thank you. Any question? Yeah. Anyone still has a question? Yeah, yes, Jason.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me again?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay, sir. Another thing, I heard Mr. Zuma, yeah, I think it was Mr. Zuma, talking about bad career decisions. So I already applied to the institution, right? And for various choices, I'm doing sciences, so I applied for medicine. I have an interest for physics, so I also applied for that, and biochemistry and microbiology. So now let's say I get accepted into all of them and I choose one. How easy is it to change to another one when I feel like, no, this is not for me? Is there an option for that?
Okay, it all depends on what you have chosen first. Let me say like that. It's not easy to move from medicine and back to the physics field. And being allowed using the, maybe they say some points you've got from the medicine. But if you want to come back to, let's say, to physics, if you were accepted for medicine, what you will do is that we will check your metric points. We will not consider your medicine points because they are irrelevant for physics. Unlike when you are doing your physics or your chemistry and then you want to go to do medicine, some modules in the mainstream of physics and chemistry are needed for you in medicine. I know with chemistry that it somehow is needed on the medicine, which I'm not sure which part of it, but I know they will need a bit of chemistry there, and then you can able to get a credit for that. I hope I answered your question. Anyone has a question? Feel free to ask. You can raise your hand so that we can unmute you. It's just for the protocol so that we all speak at one time. So that's why we say you may raise the hand. If you are unable to speak where you are, you can type in on the chat and we'll able to read your question and respond to your question. But okay, while maybe say waiting for your question. All right, there's a hand again. You can speak.
Oh, okay. So just the last question for now. Well, I heard also that funding is not actually guaranteed, like you have to get it in and pass. So are there programs inside the institution that you would have access to? Let's say if you get in and you pass with really high marks, is there maybe an option for you to get maybe a bursary, sponsorship of some sort? that you can use it to study instead of NSFAS? Let's say you get in having NSFAS and then you pass with great marks, with good marks, like distinctions. Is there like anything you can change to? Can you change your funding, which is going to be offered by the institution?
Yes, yes. We have fundings if you do well, very well. I know with our college that when you do well and then you get a college scholarship because of your marks, and they will sponsor you and until you finish your degree, provided you continue to maintain your high marks, because each year the scholarship for the college, each year you're getting it based on your performance. And then there are other scholarship which you have, or the bursaries that you have to apply based now on the career you want to pursue. Those one are for, sorry, are in line with the companies, whichever company that are associated with UKZN or with any university. Then they will say, you want to do this, we will sponsor for you for that. For which I know for CSRR, they sponsor people who want to do your BSc in applied maths and physics, in computer science, and in data science. So the bursary is about that. And which means now when you apply for that bursary, you have to do the degree that you have applied for and finish it. But if you change, then they will withdraw with their sponsor, because the sponsor is for that particular bursary. Any question? I hope I've answered your question. So there's someone who typed in the chat. Okay, how well should I perform? For the college bursary, if I'm not mistaken, you have to get 75 and above for you to get that scholarship. In everything, not just in a certain module. Your average should be 75 and above, and then you are able to get the college scholarship. Any question? Okay, I've shared my email address there. If you still have more questions, you can send the email, and then we'll able to respond to your questions. And if maybe you've asked something that we are not have information for at that time, then we can able to ask other colleagues in our university and then share the information with you. Just to remember the closing date. If you have not applied, make sure that you know the closing date of a certain degree you want to pursue, and also check the points. What are the points are required for you to do that degree? Because it is important to know when you're studying for your matric, and as we are going towards the final exam at the end of the year, still have some time to up your game. You should know how many points you are required to do the degree you want to do. So that is important, which I would say. And bursary applications, I know for CSRR, it's been open for the undergrad and also for masters. There's one which what was for? Okay, I forgot what it was for, but it's open as well. Oh, NRF. The NRF, there's, but not for every degree on an NRF, which if you are doing the undergrad, it's for the scarce skill field, like your BSc in applied math or physics, and your what else? In the BSc in computer science, if I remember very well. So those are some of the scarce skills they sponsor for. So you can check on an NRF which requirements they need to apply for that bursary. In the absence of question, then I will stop our meeting at this point. I can share the link of the live stream that we have done to YouTube so that you can revisit, or you can share with your friends who were not able to join us, so that they can get an information and then they become informed. All the best with your studies. Hopefully we'll see you next year at UKZN, depending on what your career choice you want to do. So I've shared the link now for the live YouTube. You can copy it and then you can watch it later, or you can share with your friends so that they can be informed as well. And hopefully they will do well also and search about their careers in time before the closing date of the career choices. Thanks to everyone who attended, and thanks to Mr. Mkize and Mr. Zuma for availing their time to speak with you guys. I hope this section was fruitful on your side as the students, and you were able to gain some information from us. Thank you, all the best. Bye.